He's heating up.
Last night was one of the most important nights in women's basketball history. Not because, the players were the best of all time, not because the teams were the best ever, but because everybody was watching. I had people come up to me at work saying, you know what? I had never watched a women's basketball game in my life, and that game was phenomenal. Start to finish. I did not turn it off. The game was great. That's what last night was all about. Understanding that the world is watching. Put on a show. Play your game. Put on a show. And that's exactly what both games did. All right. LSU versus Iowa, rematch of the national championship last year. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese run it back. And look, Angel Reese played great. All right. Everybody's talking about, what she was doing before the game, what she was doing earlier that day. It kind of reminds me of the Vince Carter Game 7, 2001. 20 points, 6 for 18. He missed the game winner because he went and decided to go to his graduation in North Carolina earlier that day. He flew into Philly, played the game, played poorly. Everybody said that's why they lost the game. Now listen, could it contribute? Possibly. But they still had a chance to win that game. Same as last night. Angel Reese, 17 points, 20 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Played a great game, a phenomenal game last night, and they only lost by 7 points because if you think about it, what took place on the other side, what the other player was doing on the other side, that could have been a blowout game. The way they were dominating, that could have been easily a blowout game if Angel Reese didn't have, especially the first half that she had earlier in that game. Now, no matter how badly people want to discredit Angel Reese and say, that, hey, Caitlin Clark cooked them last night and this and that, you can't take away Angel Reese's national championship from last year. They beat Iowa on the big stage. They won that national championship, and this is how sports go. The winner gets to say and talk however they want to talk, and that's what LSU did. This year they lost. Caitlin Clark and Iowa, they can talk with their chest out. They can say whatever they want to say because they won the game. Now, Caitlin Clark, she looked extremely comfortable last night. She did not look shaken. She did not look rattled. She didn't look like someone who's seen a defensive scheme that could give her problems. HVL had no answer for her whatsoever. 41 points, 7 assists, 12 rebounds, 9 3-pointers made. I still can't for the life of me understand why coaches do this, okay? See, in the NBA and WNBA, you play multiple games in the series in the playoffs where you say, you know what? Tonight, we're going to lock everybody else up. We're going to let you try and beat us this night. All right, 41 points later, game over. We lose that game. You say, you know what? All right, that didn't work on the plan B. You don't have that option in an NCAA tournament. All right, after the first quarter and you realize that doesn't work, on the plan B, put Flau'jae Johnson on her. Give her some problems. Press up on her. Force her into a double team potentially. But you're not going to let her beat you by herself knowing that she can actually beat you by herself. I don't understand that scheme, but Iowa 94, LSU 87. USC versus UConn. UConn wins that game 80-73. Juju Watkins, and any opportunity I have to say this until people pay attention to exactly what I'm seeing on the basketball court, Juju Watkins is the second coming of Syracuse Carmelo Anthony. Very much the scorer that everyone thinks she is. #1 all time in tournament points for NCAA freshman. And you know what? When I watch her game, all right, she has in her mind, okay, I can score from anywhere, so I'm going to take any type of shots at any given moment based on how I'm feeling on that possession. All right, she had 29 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. But when she got to the podium, she talked about improving from this year to next year. The thing she talked about is efficiency. One of the things that can correct that is a scorer that has spots. I know that in my skill set, if I can get to this spot based on the time that I put in, I can score at any given moment. I am going to be highly efficient when I get to these spots on the basketball court. Once Juju figures that out, she's going to be absolutely unstoppable in her follow-up season as a sophomore. Paige Bueckers, all right, she was the player of the year her freshman season. She comes in the following year, messes up her knee. She ends up missing the rest of the season, missing the following season as well. And she comes back and she's actually better than she was year one. I can't think of a good comparison. She doesn't exactly play with the style of play that Luka Doncic does, but she presents Luka type problems, meaning even if she doesn't have 25 to 30 points, she's still able to get you 10 rebounds, still able to get you 6, 8, 10 assists. She still can be a capable defender on the other side of the ball. So she's going to impact the game on multiple ways than just one, on top of the fact that she can knock down wide open shots, get her shot anytime she wants to, get to any spot she wants to. And her game is a lot more mature than people think it is. Sometimes people look at the way Paige plays and think she's just flying by the seat of her pants. She is extremely intelligent. All right, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 3 3-pointers made. She's going back to the Final Four the same way she did in her freshman season. Now, the Stars understood the assignment last year. Role players, they played well, but the Stars elevated to the level that they needed to put on the show that they knew they had to, knowing that the world was watching, and they showed up and they showed out. I just ran off the list. Angel Reese, Juju Watkins, Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers. You turn on ESPN this morning and the women's basketball tournament is the headline. The games we saw last night is leading the headlines today. That's what it's all about, putting the spotlight on women's basketball. That's exactly what they did. They put on a show. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, UConn, Iowa, Paige, Caitlin Clark, who you got? That's one more for the good guys.
He's heating up.